Hello, welcome to the thing where Jeremy from Red Marines Recording chops up with stuff and talks to you about chops. My finger still hurts. In fact, this is the same day that I've recorded the first video, so go watch that up here somewhere if you want to talk about what chops do in the MC707, or just the philosophy of chops in general. So again, a chop is a little piece of a larger piece of music that you reconstitute into a music. And, you know, you can do it for hip-hop, you can do it for lo-fi, you can do it for house, you can do it for electro swing. It's just a really useful technique. So today we're going to do a few more chops and just talk about it on the way. I'm going to go into my wave files and I'm going to find a file to chop. That's pretty hot. Let's do that. So I could use the slice function, but I'm not going to do that. The mistake that I made last time was that I chose too many little chops that didn't have enough character to them. So we're going to make sure that we don't do that this time. Let's grab that snare. You can see that little snare waveform right there. So pretty. Let's just grab the whole thing. Let's just grab all of that right there. And now let's move on to something with a bit more variety to it in terms of chords, like a chord change of some kind. This has drums built into it, so we're going to be able to sort of like lean on that in our chop as well, which is nice. You know, and as you go through this, it's up to you how like different from the original you decide to make your thing. You know, you can really go crazy with it if you want. You know, there's the other philosophy in like Dotson. If you haven't watched them on YouTube, I definitely suggest you do that. He's the master of doing this as far as I know. And Accurate Beats actually is really, really good too. Both of them, Accurate and Dotson, are huge inspirations for how I deal with chops, and they're just fantastic. And one of the things that they do is, at least Dotson does, is like, you know, he'll make these chops. I think he uses Machine, but he'll also like be able to like knock off, like trigger off like a whole part of the song, like, and just like return to the original like sort of structure of the song by hitting a key and then go back into his chop. And I think that's a really, really fun way of doing it. Now it's just that. Okay, cool. So we've filled up our thing. Chord progression that goes through this, and then we have a little fill. So there's two things that we need to do. I did this in the last video. The first is get this up, pumped in volume. For some reason, our preview volume is always a lot hotter than our playback volume, and I don't know why. So one of the things I like to do is throw on either the sustainer effect or a limiter, something like that, just to pump it up. I fucking love this already. So the next thing that we want to do with our chop, at least what I want to do with this chop, is right now you can hear how they play. I can play multiple notes at once. I want to have every pad mute the other pad, so we can use a mute group for that. And depending on your synthesizer or your sampler, there's probably different ways to do this for each of them, but in ours, we go into pad edit, and we go down to mute group here, and we just start assigning it all to the same mute group. That is hot. I like that a lot. That's really good. And you almost don't need a drum to go with that just because it's so, you know, it's already drummy. But a lot of times in this genre that I'm probably working in, there would be a drum to go along with it. So let's go ahead and program that up and have a little finished beat that we can show off. Since we have drums in the first section here, I don't want to go too crazy with the beat. So let's delete our clip and start a new one. We want to create a clip. Go into the settings. Step length. Let's give us 64 steps. No shuffle. I don't think on this one. That's cool. Let's make that our first pattern here. Let's go ahead and make sure that our settings for this, that we are quantized. And let's just turn the master quantize all the way up. Let's go ahead and record something new, shall we? It's not really showing up right now, but it seems like when you switch patterns, that mute group thing that you made earlier just gets disregarded completely, and that's really bad. Like, if I have stuff hanging over into the next phrase, like I'll end up getting stuff hanging over that should be muted, and it's really, really frustrating. So let's go down into our third pattern and paste this again and adjust the sound, and let's make a new clip. I don't mind this. I think I'm going to try turning it up a little bit in terms of tempo. And that means we're going to have to also pitch up our individual hits. So let's go in here and pray that we can only have to do this once instead of for all clip. So I'm going to go into course and turn this up by 3, 3, 3, 3. All right, so now we're going to have to adjust our tempo, but that's fine. Legitimately hate that hi-hat. Let's go ahead and switch that out. I don't know, let's try that one. That one's pretty good. It fits with the thing. All right, so I like the speed a bit better. I'm generally in the 80 BPM range for this kind of thing. I would say that's a pretty successful chop. I'm happy with that. So in this video, we chopped up something that had more of a beat to it, but also some really great chords and chord structure to it that we could reconstitute. And we made this our first chord progression using kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare for our second. And then up here, we had some other stuff that was a bit more of an extreme chord progression change. We got a pretty semi-decent little boom bap beat. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions or comments about this process, any tips and tricks. I'm sure everyone has a different way of approaching this kind of thing, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. My name is Jeremy, this is Roland MC recording, and I hope you have a pretty fantastic, wonderful day. Thank you very much.